When you watch a movie, in the movie, heroine gets married with the hero. But it's not real marriage, all acting. Marriage, dramatic acting of marriage. Similarly like that, the story that Tulasi Devi got married with Shankasura. Eventually there was a big fight between Vishnu and Shankasura. And Tulasi Devi cursed Narayana. All acting in a drama. That's how we need to understand. Otherwise such happenings do not have any real place, factual place in Nitya Leela, on the plane of Goloka, on the original divine plane of Goloka, where Tulasi Maharani is known to be eternally beloved to Krishna from the beginning to end. Okay, Bindu, not only very dear to Krishna but also to Srimati Radhika. Srimati Radha. Thus she is worshipped as dearmost to Krishna and Srimati Radha, and mostly playing the vital role to unify divine couple, as it is needed. Bindu Duti called. And she factually plays the role of being messenger of Srimati Radharani to Krishna. In other words, she is considered to be a foremost messenger and agent and representative of Srimati Radharani. So that's her important service, to help union of divine couple and helping out through the apparent adverse situation to get them together. She does that service with great expertise, great efficiency, uniting divine couple, bringing them together. Even if there's some kind of apparent differences between the divine couple due to emotional conflicts, due to some sentimental or emotional conflicts, she takes a very vital role, very vital place to make amicable settlement, a happy settlement between the divine couple, and everything is set right, then everything flows very harmoniously, sweetly, lovingly, beautifully. So this is called as Duti. Duti means a trusted messenger and a representative of Srimati Radharani. She has a goddess form, she has a divine form, beautiful goddess. But on this plane and also on the plane of Goloka, she also has the second form as the plant form.
In Goloka also she has this plant form?
Both. She manifests in both ways. In Goloka, everything is transparent and like transformable. So sometimes she moves around in goddess form, sometimes plant form. Because Krishna always needs Tulasi leaf for his bhoga. If she doesn't have that form in Goloka, Krishna will not find Tulasi. Tulasi leaf he will be missing. Chappanno bhoga chatrisha ranjan vina Tulasi prabhu eko nahi. You can organize, nicely offer 56 kinds of bhogas and 36 types of sabjis, different banjans. 56 kinds of bhogas and 36 kinds of other sabjis. If Tulasi leaf is not offered, Krishna doesn't accept any of them. Of course, exceptions are made. About Goloka, many exceptions. If Srimati Radharani offers some bhoga to Krishna, even without Tulasi leaf, Krishna is bound to accept. Ma Jashoda always doesn't offer Tulasi. Whatever she offers to Krishna, Krishna is bound. Krishna is bound to take any offerings made by Mother Jashoda, Srimati Radharani, Shaktis, Manjaris. But this is meant in general for the other devotees, common devotees. Vidhi Marga, Raga Marga. It's mostly applied in Vidhi Marga and also to some extent in Raga Marga, but in pure Raga Marga, it's not really like that. Whether they must offer Tulasi leaf or not, because it is understood. Raga, Krishna. Tulasi Devi's presence everywhere in Vrindavan. Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Nandan Swami Gurupad Padunitya Pravishtam Prajokacharya Burjashtra Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Gurupad Padunitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prajokacharya Burjashtra Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prajokacharya Burjashtra Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Shapasha Jagat Guru Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Kula Mukutamani Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Ashtut Sadasri Srimad Mahabhagavata Guru Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Ashtut Sadasri Srimad Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Ashtut Sadasri Srimad Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai Sarvaswami Prabhu ki Jai Panchatattvatmak Sri Gaur Hari ki Jai Jai Charidham ki Jai Chari Kshetra ki Jai Chari Vaishnav Sampradaya ki Jai Chari Vaishnav Sampradaya Acharya Vrinda ki Jai Jai Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Paribrajaka Acharya Tijandishani Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Paribrajaka Acharya Ashtotra Srimad Bhakti Srimad Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj ki Jai Jai Tijandishani Paramhamsa Paribrajaka Acharya Ashtotra Srimad Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj ki Jai Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai 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 Bhuvana Mangal Kari Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai Jai Gaur Pramanandi Tijandishani Srimad Bhakti Vibhuda Bodhan Maharaj ki Jai Srimad Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Gaur Pramanandi
Bhakti Nandan Maharaj ki Jai.
So, Bandana, as yesterday, we sing Bandana. Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Shagjatam Shahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Padam Shagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vidam Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine Shivasavanavi Devi Daitaya Kripadaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Chara Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Namaste Gauravan Shrimurtaye Dinatarine Rupanga Virudhapa Apushitavane Namo Gaura Kishoraya Shakshaviraya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Bujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Nandan Satchidanandamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Viprava Bhumestvam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhuma Shri Jagannathaye Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauragise Namaha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kamta Radha Kamta Namostute Tata Kamchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Bangur Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvasva Parambojo Radha Madhava Mohano Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumada Srimad Ratnaga Shingasanasto Shri Radha Srila Govinda Devo Predstavili Sevyamana Smarami Srimad Rasarasarambi Vamsivata Katastita Karshan Vinushvanir Gopir Gopinata Sridestuna Tulasi Devi Krishna Bhakti Namo Namaha Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari 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 Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Girivaradhari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Okay.
Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabho Girivarodhari Gopi Jana Vallabho Girivarodhari Gopi Jana Vallabho Girivarodhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana 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 Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari 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 Gopi Jana Vallabho Girivarodhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari Hey Gopi Jana Vallabho Girivarodhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivarodhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yamuna Tiro Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jayo
Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Sing any bhajan? Anybody? Some bhajan or everybody can share. Everyone can sing. Bandeham Sri Guru Srijuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitangscha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Sri Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Again. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Again, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Madan Mohan Radha Govinda Dev Radha Gopinath Shaparikar Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. As I was discussing yesterday, all of us, specifically the Krishna devotees, need to learn the art of living, need to learn the better art of living our life in Krishna consciousness. As we discover more and more the better arts, learn more and more the better arts of how to live a better life in Krishna consciousness, then we become more happy, satisfied, and we start feeling that we are making some advancement. We are not just stagnant in one place, we have not become just stagnant in just one area, imprisonment, but actually we are making some advancement going forward. Such natural experience will come within you to let you know that you are making advancement, and that will be confirmed from the level of Chaitya Guru, in depth of inspiration from Chaitya Guru. We all know that our material life, this material world, material life cannot become a real shelter for us. This is considered just a temporary shelter. Truly, in a realistic sense, this material world or life cannot be our true shelter. But that doesn't mean that while we are living on this material plane, worldly plane, we have to live a shelterless life, helpless life. No. Because as we discover how to live our life on this mundane plane even, so that we can find some true shelter in this, then we know how to do it. And simply living, when we live our life in Krishna conscious way, then it's just that our lifestyle doesn't remain just only material way of living. It becomes spiritualized. Then living our lifestyle becomes qualified with higher spiritual values. Then we no more live within just mundane concept of life, mundane ways or mortal ways. So we can definitely start living our life immortal way, super mundane, divine way while we are situated on this mundane plane. It is possible. All our sacred text, holy scriptures give clear descriptions about it. That there is no, what is the main difference between mundane ways of life and Krishna conscious way, spiritual way? That as we become forgetful about our Supreme Lord Krishna, the supreme power, universal superpower, and just relate to everything, live our life without his connection, then it becomes material, more limited, worldly way of living. But as soon as we live our life in Krishna consciousness, it becomes spiritually qualified. We can live a life divine. Jedino grihe bhajano dekhi, grihete goloko bhai. The moment, the day we find ourselves engaged in bhajana, Krishna bhajana, even in our own home, in our residence, then actually Goloko, divine abode Goloko, appears in our life. The influence, divine influence, environment of Goloko can also appear in our life, in our family life, provided that we are engaged in pure Krishna bhajana. Question may arise, how that can appear? We don't feel much. The scriptures, realized devotees say, that can appear in a subtle, invisible way, although you may not be able to directly feel it all the time. But still, you must know wherever there is pure, wherever pure Krishna Sankirtan taking place, wherever glorification about Lord Krishna and all his devotees taking place, wherever you find some great happiness to engage in Krishna bhajana, discuss the topics about Krishna, engage in devotional service of divine couple, Sriman Mahaprabhu, there you must know there is some divine influence of Goloka around you. But as you become more advanced, can become more spiritually sensitive, divinely sensitive. In other words, as you grow your divine sensation, then you can feel that already Goloka environment appeared around you. You are already now embraced within some divine environment of Goloka in a subtle way. It may not be environment like exactly as everything happens directly on the divine abode of Lord Goloka, but like a glimpse of Goloko energy, Goloko consciousness around you. You can feel that. Because as long as you are living on the Bhauma plane, it may not be all the time full-fledged manifestation of Goloko, the atmosphere of divine abode of Krishna around us, except for the cases of the very exalted pure devotees in their life, wherever they live in, wherever the pure devotees of Krishna live in, they engage in devotional service, in Krishna Katha. So much divine influence of Goloko come around them. And those who associate with those pure devotees also share that in a subtle way, subtle benefits. But in general, when even the neophyte devotees, or we all the general devotees get together and engage in Krishna conscious activities, engage in chanting, singing, the divine glories of Lord, speaking, spreading the transcendental glories and qualities of Lord, then also we can also receive certain glimpse of the divine vibration of Goloka, divine consciousness of Goloka around us, in a very subtle way. Whether or not we directly understand, but it happens. Many things we don't directly understand all the time, like the mobile power right now, radioactive frequency like radioactive energy, electromagnetic radiance, so many things we don't directly feel, directly relate to, but still they are truth. right in this space in front of me, the activities of so many different kinds of power and energy going on. Activities of some powers, subtle powers of different dimensions going on. But we don't directly relate because our perception is so limited. That's why we cannot do. But as soon as you have a radio set, you in tune, then you can catch the frequency, then you can hear all the sounds and broadcasting from all radio centers. But as long as you don't in tune, you don't catch that frequency. Our mobile phone also works like that. Right now here, there's so many frequencies of sound vibration through ethereal medium of ether. But we cannot directly hear, directly see. So much television scenes also going on in this space. But we cannot directly see or directly hear anything. Because our perception is limited, we need the help of a machine. So while we approach through proper channel, while we get in tune with the proper frequency, then we can immediately hear and see the radio sounds and TV channels and everything there. Similarly, sometimes mystically, subtle spiritual blessings, spiritually blessed energies can appear around us while we are engaged in pure spiritual activity, pure devotional activities. Whether or not we directly feel it, perceive it, but still it happens. That's what Scripture says, exalted personalities, exalted realized souls, great devotees. Naham tisthami vaikunthe yoginang hridayena cha madbhakta jatra gayanti tatra tisthami narada. I am not going into details explanation of the verse, but Lord Narayana, i.e. Lord Krishna, it says that I am always, wherever my pure glorification is taking place, wherever my devotees are engaged in chanting and singing my glories and qualities, I appear there in invisible way. You must know that I am present there in invisible, subtle way around you all. Because wherever there is chantings and singing of my holy names and glories, I am present there in a non-different way. Because after all, the holy names, the transcendental name, form, quality, all these are closely connected with Supreme Lord, non-different from Supreme Lord. While we engage in chanting holy names, we absorb in remembrance of His divine form, pastimes, then actually we start taking His association in a very subtle way, like in a primary way. And as that practice goes forward, develops or gets intensified, then we can receive more and more higher experience of Radha Krishna's association, presence, Mahaprabhu's presence in our life. After all, by character, the feeling is spiritual. After all, it's spiritual type of realization, not material. So we cannot really see or feel or touch, understand like in a material objective way. Because after all, by nature, these are all spiritual experience, spiritual realization. So as the more our spiritual ability of perception is cultivated, spiritual sensing ability, I would say the spiritual power of sensing things grow, the more we can understand, sense the spiritual happenings, spiritual matters. We need to develop spiritually. We all know, devotees know, again back to the point, this worldly life cannot be our true shelter, because it's needless to explain, we all know, in the Holy Scripture is described, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam, where we find these four things inevitable. Janma, birth, Mrityu, death, Jara, old age sickness, old age suffering, and Vyadhi, sickness. All these four elements, all these four problems are like inevitable, all of our lives. So where these four basic problems inevitably occupy our life in some way or other, then how the permanent, eternal happiness and peace can be possible? But question may arise, devotees may ask question, oh, many of us are living very happily. God has created us, we have been born on this world, and just many of us are just happily living life. Okay, so we feel shelter and peaceful. Sometimes suffering comes, but on the whole we are living happy life. Why it is discarded all the time? Why it is our tendency or notion to discard all the time? Why don't we accept the positive side of it? The answer is that, yes, the holy scriptures, the realized souls never really discarded. That's why I explained so long. We can also live a very nice, happy, better life, even on the mundane plane, while we are being Krishna conscious. So they just say, the wise devotees, the realized devotees say, don't live your life under the bliss of ignorance. That's all. There's real bliss of ignorance, and there's also there's real bliss. Okay, there you can live your life with real blissful experience. Also, there can be some experiences, bliss of ignorance. It's not real bliss, but it's like illusory concept of the bliss. We simply understand by nature all our material things, material substance in our life always changing. They are always changing, never stable. This moment you feel so happy and peaceful, you never know when it's going to change the next moment. It doesn't stay. And you never know which is going to come up the next, what type of suffering. So that's why, because of this very futile, changing, temporary nature of our material life, material happiness, material pleasure, material peace, that's why the realized souls say, okay, this is good, but it's not a better life, not a best life. You should take a journey towards from a good life to better to best life. And where you cannot truly rely upon the things, on which plane you cannot really properly rely upon the things. This moment good, next moment maybe turning bad, changing, it's no more there. Then you cannot really permanently depend on it and rely and feel, okay, you will be living your life happily forever, because right now, at this moment you are living some happy life materially. Right now you are living more or less materially happy life, but you never know when it's going to change into the life of unhappiness, when suffering comes. So rather be prepared. When you start living a very happy life materially, you be prepared in mind. Okay, next turn coming, suffering. That's the way. That's the nature, okay, of the experience of this plane. That's why they say, if you consider, you will be ever, forever living very happy and good life on this plane, and material life can be your shelter, you are living under the bliss of ignorance. Don't live in fool's paradise, live in real paradise, wise man's paradise. That's what they say. They said, okay, don't be carried away by temporary happiness of material life. Consider, judge it from holistic stand, holistic viewpoint. Then the devotees say, yes, but that doesn't mean when you are all living on this material world, mundane world, you need to be very disappointed and feel helpless. Everything is of temporary nature. Nothing is really reliable for a long time. So don't lose your heart. Says, just know how to live, art of living. Just live your life in Krishna consciousness, in consciousness of the superpower, all-pervading, omniscient, omnipotent, all protective superpower. Then you are no more living under the shelter of mundanity. Can I use some examples like, this house is a nice shelter. We all live in the house. They are nice shelters. But as soon as something goes wrong with our shelter, then it's no more a nice shelter. Then you have to go out, run out of the house. Otherwise, your life will be endangered. Life can be endangered within the same area, same house, what you are considering great shelter or everything, but anything goes wrong, suppose fire, or it happens like you can never go out of this house, your like imprisoned. For indefinite time period you are isolated, imprisoned. Then the same house which you would have just considered a great shelter would turn out opposite. Turn out as place of danger because fire all around, okay? Or something went wrong, or it is just imprisonment to you. Then you will think, when you go out, suppose you are taking nice bath, nice shelter. I'm giving example like taking nice bath, this shower. Oh, it is so good, feels so good, peaceful. As soon as you know, even if you don't know, or the water coming out of this shower is not pure. So now you are enjoying bath, but next moment you will have skin eruption because the water is not pure. Then you lose all happiness of taking bath. So taking bath cannot really give you shelter or cannot really give you comfort of life. Suppose you are eating some very nutritious, delicious food, but as soon as you know, oh, there is some kind of, this food is not pure, not very hygienic, some kind of poison inside, although it feels so delicious right now. Then eating that delicious food will not give you health, will not really, because the next moment you will feel stomach ache, stomach pain, and if it is really bad, then you have to run to the doctor, have your stomach washed and everything go through. Although at that moment you are thinking, oh, it's so delicious, tasty food I am eating, but look what is happening. Or sometimes, there are many examples you can give, like you are sleeping, like you are feeling very tired, and there is a nice bed, feel, oh, very nice center, the bed looks so nice, feel so comfortable, very nice shelter of mind, so I want to fall asleep. As you went to the bed, trying to fall asleep, so many bad anxieties come in your mind from all directions. Sometimes, suppose some bad news came, or bad thought came, disturb all your sleep. Although you are on a nice bed, although you are laying down on a very comfortable bed, and in the winter season, taking the warmth of your mattress, trying to enjoy the warmth of your bed and heat. But as soon as bad thoughts coming in mind, anxiety is coming in mind, you cannot fall asleep. Although outer arrangement is so nice, something is lacking. Something serious in all these cases, in all these examples I give you, something is very wrong and lacking. That's why we cannot have peace and happiness, cannot enjoy. What is that? You discover. That is something I really need. I'm just giving all these examples to give you all the idea. Similarly, in this mundane world, mundane lifestyle, although we feel, oh, we have got nice shelters, everything is going on nicely, you never know, next moment some suffering is waiting. That's why realized souls say, never believe, never depend on all these. Never be carried away by some illusory happiness and never live under the bliss of ignorance. You need to live under the bliss of wisdom. So, which is lacking? Okay, which is lacking? Try to fulfill that. So I used all these examples just to clarify how things can go wrong any moment, or whether one side working and the other side not working properly, so there is no enough security ultimately in our mundane ways of living. But there is full security in Krishna conscious way of living. The realized souls say, as soon as you know how to live your life in a better way, with more preventions, more protections, just as we protect ourselves, we make sure so that nothing goes wrong, we make our surroundings of living and everything in our life very protective. Similarly, realized souls, devotees say, also you be protective about your real life. How many days or how many years you are going to live on this plane? You have got eternal life. Eternal life. So think about, try to do something to bring benefits, receive benefits for your life of eternity instead of just only this temporary life. Plan out everything in your life so that your eternal life, your soul, real you become benefited instead of just only bodily benefit or mental benefits. Think of achieving your higher spiritual benefits. Because after all, ultimately, you are spirit soul. Think of doing something, be serious of doing some real good to your own self, rather than only be influenced or carried away by some temporary entanglements. Like when you are inside the house, you are taking care of your house very nicely, painting and decorating, but inside the house resident, you are living as the owner. You are considered, I am the owner of this house, I am the enjoyer, but suppose your health becomes sick, your body becomes sick. So, although your house, you are taking care of your house so nicely, but you are not taking care of your own body and mind. You feel sick. What's the use of having big house, nice house, so much decoration, you cannot even enjoy. What's the use of thinking, I am the proprietor, I am the owner of this house? You cannot even enjoy anything because you are sick. Because you forgot to take care of your own self. Because only you took care of house. Similarly, in our family life, mundane family life, we take care of so many outer things, this and that, but we forget to take care of our real self. Our real self. Then, if we forget to take care of our real self, then all become just useless at some point in relation to me. Yes, that's what I say. But there's no need of disappointment. Although mundane life, mundane world and life cannot be your real shelter, but don't need to be disappointed, because if you discover the ways how to live your life, even on the material plane, in Krishna conscious way, then on this plane you can actually start living a life transcendental to the material effects, qualified in higher spiritual way, life of Krishna consciousness, from which you can receive so much benefits. The type of benefits you receive, never mortal, never limited within the mortality, that takes you, helps you to go towards immortal achievement, world of immortality, divine, achieve divine life, divinely qualified life, which is not temporary, which can bring so much great benefits, eternal, permanent benefits in your life. And it is possible. When you live a life in Krishna consciousness, you can enjoy all your life, enjoy all happiness, but in Krishna consciousness, living your life in wisdom, in the bliss of wisdom instead of bliss of ignorance. What's the difference between bliss of ignorance and bliss of wisdom? When we become complacent, we often become so complacent about our lifestyle. As if everything is so secured, everything will flow nicely, but we forget next moment some suffering coming on my. Any moment some suffering can come out from the womb of future, Mahakala. So such complacency is not a good sign, not a sign of true intelligence. We don't need to be pessimist like, why should we be pessimist all the time, thinking bad about ourselves, feeling bad? It's not like that. But the wise persons say, just be careful, just be intelligent enough, don't become too much complacent, and becoming protective and preventive, becoming protective about your own life and trying to prevent some problems in beforehand doesn't mean pessimism. It means intelligent complacency, intelligent ways, understanding about yourself. Otherwise, in the name of optimism, if you just get lost, be overwhelmed with some kind of absurd complacency, then the next moment when suffering will come, you don't know how to protect yourself because you are not prepared. But when you are prepared ahead of time to prevent, then even if suffering comes, you know how to face it. And you also know how to remedy that, how to solve that problem, because you are already conscious of that. You are already defensive. Okay, you are protective. You are already conscious of that, how to fight that, how to protect yourself from that beforehand. So, similarly, when we are protective about ourselves, that one day we have to die. Besides taking this mundane suffering in our life, we have to suffer the death, and we don't know after death where we will go, where we will be going to be posted next. We must do something about it. And since we know, although superpower is so superpower, but superpower is everywhere. He is within, without, everywhere. He is within us, everywhere. And if we try to relate to the superpower, personality of the superpower, with faith and devotion, Oh Lord, I don't know how to take care of myself properly in the eternity, in context of the Mahakala, eternal time, place, situation, even during this lifetime, even after my death, right now and after I leave my material body, I don't know how to take care of myself properly. But you know everything, since you are omniscient, omnipotent, you are superpower, you know everything. Okay, I fully take shelter at your lotus feet. I fully accept your divine shelter. You are very benevolent and merciful. Please, you take care of your devotee. I become devotee. I become your devotee. I become surrendered to you. Please, you take care of this soul, myself, devoted to you, accepted your shelter. And then you can feel peaceful and happy, knowing that even if I am not able to take care of myself properly, but now I've surrendered myself in the shelter of Lord. Okay, and I will for sure, if I can continue to devote myself in the service of the superpower, then I must stay sheltered and protected by His mercy, by the mercy of divine couple. Then that is called real optimism. That is called rationalistic, realistic optimism instead of false concept of optimism. That is called living in intelligent, wise man's paradise instead of living in fool's paradise. It's like that when we find ourselves in a problem, when we experience some suffering, see ourselves in danger, as long as there is no help coming from outside to rescue ourselves from the danger, we feel hopeless, helpless, so much pain, so much pain and so much dejected. It's like an experience of death before actual dying. Going through suffering is also kind of experience of death before the real death, just like waiting for the real death. But as soon as some help comes in that situation, that immediately our situation of our mind, our mental situation, heart becomes changed. Immediately our mind, heart become full of so much hope, full of confidence and some satisfaction. Okay, some help is coming now, I am going to be rescued. Immediately, as soon as you see ray of hope, help is coming. Then, although you are in the same danger, same suffering still, but immediately you feel some relief, mentally and bodily. Help has now help has come, nearing, soon going to be rescued from this. That's like living in life of Krishna consciousness. When you are helplessly lost in the mode of suffering of the material nature, then you don't know what to do. Is suffering. Cannot living such a life, you can never rely upon this moment little happiness, next moment so much suffering coming, unreliable life. But as soon as you start having the taste of living life in Krishna consciousness, experience living life in Krishna consciousness with so much hope and expectation of being protected by the mercy of Lord, and not only expectation, you start feeling at some point, I am in the solace. Now I am the devotee. Now I am devotee of Lord, so I must be protected by Lord's mercy. Maybe sometimes some kind of test may come, temporary suffering, but it's nothing to me. I am becoming elite commando, going to become elite commando. All these sufferings I don't care about, because now I am empowered by Lord's potency, Krishna's potency, being sheltered by Him, by Srimati Radharani, by Mahaprabhu, as their devotee. So I have got so much potency and power, and so much, my heart is filled with so much positive grace, ability, that even if some sufferings come in my life time to time, I don't simply bother about. One can be situated in that level. It is possible. Just as King Parikshita became situated on that, he became situated on that level after Shukadev Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. Previously, in the beginning, he was worrying, I have only got 7 days. How can I, this too little small time, how can I receive the best benefit, best benediction in my life? Within this so short time period, I am only going to live for 7 days. He was very concerned and crying. But after the divine appearance of Shukadev Goswami, in that assembly, then things changed. All the hopelessness and pessimistic feelings or worries, concern became immediately transformed in other way around with the divine appearance and presence of Shukadev Goswami in that assembly. And he immediately said, Ma bhai, no fear. There's nothing to fear about, nothing to worry about, no concern. King Parikshit, you have 7 days. You have enough time. Even one can be rescued and saved by Lord's mercy, protected by Lord's mercy in a moment. When one can be totally devoted to Supreme Lord with all mind, heart and soul, within one moment can be saved from all dangers. Like the darkness of billions of years can be removed just within one moment with the touch of light. With the appearance of light, the darkness continuing for thousands, millions, billions of years can go away, be removed. One moment of light. Shukadev Goswami said, yes, Maharaj, you don't need to worry at all. The Krishna Counsciousness is so powerful, always. Even if you are focused, if you truly devoted to Lord Krishna and accept His shelter, embrace His shelter wholeheartedly with all prayer, you can be even saved within your life. Whole life can be saved within one moment. It happened in the life of Khattanga Maharaj. So what to speak more? You have got 7 days. Don't worry. Forget about all your concern, worries. Now engage in hearing Krishna Katha and just swim in the nectarian ocean of Krishna, hearing Krishna Katha. Just start imbibing, drinking the nectar of Krishna Katha and be more and more, feel more and more becoming immortal to immortal and immortal beyond the death. Feel that, experience it. Now that time has arrived, that beautiful time has arrived for you, not to lament, not to worry, but to feel, experience being more and more saved and solaced, relieved, and enjoying the bliss of the nectarian life of Krishna Consciousness. That was Shukadev's message. And at the end, he confirmed, he wanted to confirm. It actually happened with King Parikshit, and King Parikshit immediately confirmed that yes, now by Shukadev Goswami's grace, by the mercy of Shukadev Goswami and Supreme Lord Krishna, he is already situated on the plane of immortality, on the transcendental plane of deathlessness, life divine. In other words, he already now transcended, already situated, transcending the plane of death. Already. He is already, in other words, situated on the plane of eternal ambrosial life of Krishna Consciousness. And the plane of death is much below. He no more bothers about whether taksha comes or not, whether this material, his body stays or not, he no more bothers about. Because he could realize, he was situated on the plane of realization, he is no more this body. No more this body or mind. He is actually divine self, divine soul, a direct son of Krishna, children of Krishna, direct potency of Krishna. And Shukadev Goswami appreciated that a lot. He congratulated. He gave warm congratulation to such situation of Parikshit Maharaj, such experience, and he left. We need to achieve that kind of life. Cultivate that. Any query? Question? Yes.
You spoke about
devotee is our life to devotional service to Krishna. But how can we know if we during devotional service, if we don't look after other things, for example, our comfort, or seeking liberation, or looking for recognizing for others, from others, how can we do this?
Good, intelligent question. There is a Krishna conscious way to take care of everything all around you in your life. So we don't really need to feel or relate to other things in separate consciousness than Krishna consciousness. In other words, what I say, you can take care of each and everything, all other things like taking care of some official job, or taking care of your car or house, society, children, whom you think they are not directly related with devotional service to Lord. In Krishna consciousness, you can take care of all of them actually in Krishna consciousness. Now I'm going to explain how. Although they apparently it will appear to you, to appear in our life like these are just some day-to-day material, our duties, family duties, not really related to Krishna. So the life of devotional service to Krishna is something other than all these, something separate. But yet we can definitely take care of all those in connection with Krishna. How? Recently I explained to some devotee. For example, when you are going out in the office to take care of your official job, so we understand naturally the nature of the office jobs and our socialization, not Krishna conscious. Just to handle all this in a material way, social way. But when you bear it in the mind, why I am doing this job? Actually, I am coming to the office, now taking care of the official things, ultimately to earn some Lakshmi, earning my livelihood, earning my Lakshmi, so that I can live my life in a happy way, secured way. And which way I am going to live my life? Life of Krishna consciousness. So then, means is justified by the end. When you take care of all your official things, with a thought at the back of your mind that you are doing all this ultimately to engage in the service of Krishna, ultimately to utilize this time energy in the service of Krishna in the form of Lakshmi, offering Lakshmi. Because you are doing this job to earn Lakshmi. And ultimately you are going to offer this Lakshmi in the service of Krishna. Then, just you are taking care of this job in a more formal, non-attached, but focused way, taking care of everything, just like doing the formality. In our life we do many jobs, we take care of different types of job we don't really like. We have no job satisfaction, but still we go on doing it for the sake of duty for duty's sake. Just take care of some material job, official job in that way. But your main aim to earn Lakshmi. And after earning Lakshmi, when with the same Lakshmi you are serving your spiritual life, you are serving Krishna and also helping your life in mode of Krishna consciousness, then your job also become ultimately qualified in a spiritual way. Means is justified by the end. So that's how. So your job also, you're taking care of job, activity in your life to take care of your mundane job no more remains as just only mundane or bringing some mundane karma. But it becomes qualified in a Krishna conscious way because you are offering all the fruits, earning from your job, ultimately in the service of Krishna, whether in the form of Lakshmi or you are buying stuffs and offering things, buying stuffs and cooking, offering to Krishna you are buying a house and you are creating a temple room for Krishna. So you are organizing everything around Krishna in your life with the help of the money earned from your job, material job. So ultimately, whatever you do, that material job also becomes qualified, in relation to Krishna, while we live a Krishna conscious life. But it cannot happen in such a way when somebody is living just material life. So give one example. In this way I can give you many examples. A devotee can find out the ways to live in Krishna consciousness in every aspect. Sleeping in Krishna consciousness, sleeping, waking up, drinking, eating, walking, thinking, and in this way doing everything in Krishna consciousness. It is quite possible. No away from Krishna, but in relation to Krishna. In householder life or life of renunciation, sannyas, ashram, whatever, we can do everything in relation to Krishna. It is quite possible. Like for example, when you are going to sleep, feeling very tired going to sleep, just before falling asleep, think of holy names of Krishna. Just chant and sing holy names of Krishna. Remember some beautiful pastimes of Radha Krishna. Or just simply remember how Radha Krishna going to bed to enjoy. They are sleeping. Just be in the mood and fall asleep. Instead of thinking about so many garbage stuffs of the day-to-day material life, this, or I need to... Be in a good habit. Cultivate a good habit. Okay, this is a sleeping moment. You want to enjoy your peaceful moment of life through sleeping. Try to cultivate a habit, not to think all around so many other material stuffs whole day long you thought about, took care. At this moment, try to stay away from, although by mental nature it comes, but try to avoid. Then, when you consciously try to avoid and just begin to sleep in good thoughts of Krishna, good remembrance of Krishna, then you fall asleep in Krishna consciousness. It means sleeping in Krishna consciousness. Then, if you are a pure devotee, if you are a very nice devotee, you can also dream about Krishna and devotional life instead of having other mundane dreams. Then when you are wake up chanting Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohana Krishna, He Radhe Krishna, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Or if you always don't remember mantras, simply speak to Lord, speak to their supreme lordships in your own language. Offer some prayer to Srimati Radhika Krishna Mahaprabhu. Speak to them in your own language with some loving claim, devotional claim. Just say, oh Lord, please bless me, have mercy upon me. Like this. As soon as you wake up, Krishna Govinda Madana Mohana Gopinath, He Radha Madan Mohan Radha Govinda Radha Gopinath, He Radha Damodar, please have mercy upon me. Oh benevolent, oh merciful Lord, please don't forget about me, have mercy upon me. I always want to live under the shelter of your blessings and mercy. Just remind them. As you wake up, you also wake them up about you, remind them, so that they don't become forgetful about you. Called cultivation of relationship, cultivating of dynamic relation with them. In this way, then, when you think of next thing, next thing you are going to take care of, going to bathroom. Suppose there are also some ways, just do certain things, take care of certain things by habitual way. And just know, these are the ways of creation by Lord Krishna. Okay, we need to eat and we also need to eliminate, acceptance and elimination. So this is the way of the nature, law of creation I need to take care of according to law of creation in the toilet function. So this is also the way created by Krishna for this mundane plane of life. So you also remember that the law of the nature you respond to call of nature you are responding to in the toilet function. You can also relate that in Krishna consciousness, how that, okay, this is the way Krishna created, so I need to respond call of nature. Okay, so I am responding to a way of creation of Krishna to keep myself healthy, to live my healthy life. If I don't do, then my life will not be healthy. My body will fall sick. It's okay. So see, you are even relating those things in Krishna consciousness with some appreciation for Krishna, that Krishna created all these ways to keep us healthy, to maintain our body healthy. Then while you are taking bath, there are some holy mantrams devotees can chant while taking bath. Chant some mantrams, taking bath, feel this Krishna's energy inside the water. So that's why this water, the energy of the water makes you feel refreshed, makes you feel, okay, make your whole nervous system feel so soothed and energetic, because water has some power within it, and that power is actually Krishna's power. So actually now the power of water now I am receiving through bathing. Actually it's Krishna's power I am absorbing within me, and that is what is making me feel refreshed. See, you can even relate to your bathing through Krishna consciousness. So now you are bathing in Krishna consciousness. While you are rubbing, during your taking bath, you are massaging your whole body and everything feels so good about. Feel my body also has energy of Krishna, full of Krishna's potency. It's filled with the soul's potency. Ultimately it's Krishna's potency from soul and super soul. Now I am embracing myself, massaging myself, feels so good. I am feeling my own energy, own reciprocation. Okay, and this ultimately it's being possible because of Krishna's energy within me. What I am experiencing, the great happiness I am deriving through massaging my own body. This energy of happiness ultimately connected to Krishna. If I am a dead body, I cannot feel this. And I am embracing myself. Also I am feeling my own energy emanating through my own palm and hand. I am giving happiness to my own body. And this body is created by Krishna, filled with energy of Krishna, marginal potency. So I am actually enjoying the potency of myself, which is ultimately Krishna's potency. I feel so grateful, so indebted to my beloved Lord. He created this beautiful life, and but because of His potency, all such experience of feeling refreshed and happy and nice being possible. So now you are even giving your massage in Krishna consciousness. Okay, now as you come out and walk on, suppose you are going out and taking some walk. Just while you are walking, at every step you can feel my walking being possible, again because of Krishna's potency. This gravitational pull is created by Krishna, that's why I'm staying deeply rooted to the Mother Earth. I am able to walk because of certain biological nature, the energy which is given by Krishna. If I would be a dead body, I could not walk. So it is also by my walking being also possible because of Krishna's energy. And when you look around the surrounding, during walking you are looking around the surroundings, looking at Mother Earth, whole surroundings so green, breathing in the fresh air, feels so nice. You're looking up the sky and feel these are all the manifestation of Krishna's form, like Virata Rupa, in some way, is Lord of Universe. So it's all actually manifestation of the Supreme Personality of superpower, cosmic superpower, all pervading, all around me. Because of that superpower, my life is being possible, my walking being possible, my breathing and seeing and enjoying, everything being possible. Even sometimes experience of suffering, temporary suffering being possible, because sometimes experience of sufferings also come to make us wise, learning through experience, through mistake. Oh, this will not work out, this is not good in our life. So we should accept the better aspect, because this is suffering I should avoid and I should in a comparative study, suffering also comes to enrich your experience through comparison, that what is good, what is bad and what is good, so that you avoid the bad things and you go towards more good things, go for the good things. So even the negative experiences also have some positive utility, but it makes us learning through experience what is good, what is bad, in this way. Then I can give you all details in this way, that you can do each and everything in Krishna consciousness. Yes.
There is another part in my question. How can we know if we don't act for seeking recognition from others? This is another question.
How can we?
Act, like say you think you are doing some service, but actually it's because you want devotees saying, "Oh, I'm so nice." Yes, recognize.
Okay. Maybe more clear. We do sometimes many devotional activities, and how to know if it's for our pleasure and it's not for Krishna. It's
Just
only for recognition.
Well, you can just know by yourself. You can just know from your within. If you just sincerely look into your consciousness, your feelings within, then you can just know what it is, because nothing is hidden from you. What you are thinking and feeling, the way you are thinking and feeling is not hidden to you. You just know it is, because it is your feelings, your experience, your mind. So when you sincerely, the sincerity has to be there. No hypocrisy. I don't mean you. I mean on principle. You understand it's what I am discussing on principle for all of us. So when I know that I am sincere enough about understanding something, I don't want to be hypocrite to my own self. I sincerely want to know about myself. Then I can just know through my sincere experience about my own self for what I am doing that. Nothing is hidden there. But if I prejudice myself in a hypocritical way, certain way, motivated in a certain way, even though some truth coming to me, but I want to avoid the truth, and I want to feel the way I want to, I am motivated, I am willfully motivated to feel, then I am depriving myself. I am being hypocrite to myself. But when I am open enough, sincere enough in relation to myself, then of course you can just know what you are doing. Whether you are doing the service for others' recognition or actually for Lord's pleasure, or both are mixed. Both aspects are mixed.
Sometimes it's mixed.
Often. That's the reality. Quite often. That's the reality. Frequently, quite often, it's a mixed feelings. When we engage in service, devotional service to Lord, our feelings get mixed, and that is honest admission. We have to admit it honestly. Some part of it for the pleasure of Lord, some part of the devotional service we do to please Lord for His satisfaction, and some other parts get entangled with some recognition and from other devotees. But you know something? Even if we know how to receive the recognition from other devotees in a Krishna conscious way, not for your own mundane pratishtha, then it's not bad, it's okay. It's called Vaishnavi pratishtha. The two types of pratishtha. One is just mundane pratishtha, completely disconnected from Krishna, away from Krishna. And another is Vaishnavi pratishtha, that also taking some fame and some recognition, but is connected to a mood of Krishna, Krishna Bhakti, connected to Krishna Bhakti in some way. That also feels so good, one can feel proud about that. But in that feelings of goodness and pride, there will be humbleness, there will be beautiful qualities of Krishna Bhakti, not just like mundane fame, like exploiting. Mundane fame brings more exploiting tendency. I am great, I am the exploiter, I am the monarch of all I survey, I am the enjoyer. That's the nature of mundane pratishtha. But spiritual pratishtha, Vaishnavi pratishtha, is not considered as bad because it promotes the mood of Krishna bhakti. It's like getting the encouragement. It's like getting the encouragement, enthusiasm. The more we get nice recognition from the nice devotees, more I feel more encouragement, enthusiasm to engage in Krishna's service. See, that can work in your favor. Okay? If you don't receive any recognition from any devotee, then you feel hopeless and helpless. Okay, am I doing real service? Nobody is giving me any appreciation for this. But as soon as you start getting some recognition from some nice devotees, then you feel more encouraged. As soon as you receive some sweet recognition from nice devotees, then you feel so much more encouraged, enthused to carry on, continue some devotional service to Lord. And that encouragement, that inspiration is very good. And that comes from Vaishnavi pratishtha. Okay, something favorable to Krishna consciousness. That is very good. Okay, but that pratishtha doesn't necessarily increase your false pride or vanity or make you feel, I became so great, I am greatest of all the devotees, I am so high devotee now, others can serve me and I can bless them. No, then that becomes mundane pratishtha as soon as that mood comes. So we have to be very discriminating about and understand what is what. Here is real gold, here is fake gold. One has to be expert to understand which is real gold and fake gold. Real diamond and fake diamond. Mad and genius. They look alike, but they are not same. Completely opposite nature to each other. Therefore it is stated, Jarero pratishtha shukori brishtha. The mundane name fame has been compared with hog's stool. But Vaishnavi pratishtha tahe karo nishtha. But in opposite way, you should rather grow affinity, grow some good feelings, respectable feelings, attachment towards receiving Vaishnavi pratishtha, because that's nectar. That's nectarian treasure in your life, which keeps you enthused, enlivened in the life of Krishna consciousness. And Vaishnavi pratishtha means recognition. Vaishnavi pratishtha means a pratishtha very favorable to the life of the Vaishnava. Never anti, but so favorable. So, the desire for receiving some recognition from the devotees, okay, is not bad, is not necessarily bad. It can be very good. But one has to remain careful. If the desire may turn into an Krishna conscious way, when the desire gets perverted and it turns into an Krishna conscious way, right, and increases mundane pride, okay, mundane attachment, spirit of mundane exploitation over others. Sometimes these days it's also found even in our missionary life, in many temples. In the name of spiritual activities, so many exploiting activities going on, fights going on, okay, exploiting going on in the name of service and spiritual activity. This is mundane pratishtha. But the kind of pratishtha which actually encourages you, enlivens you, enthuses you more to be engaged in Krishna's service, divine couple service, Mahaprabhu's service, called Vaishnavi pratishtha. That kind of recognition is very good, like elixir of life. So as you receive that kind of good recognition from the devotees for certain devotional services you are doing to Lord, that is very good. That is very good, favorable. So don't be worried all the time. Devotees don't need to be worried. Oh, if I have any desire for any recognition from any devotee, it's always bad. It's not the case. Okay, it can be very good. Encouragement, it's called encouragement. You're receiving inspiration from the devotees. That yes. And that's what also happens. We also like to give so much encouragement. When we meet some nice, good-hearted devotees, we give so much positive encouragement, realistic encouragement and inspiration. They also feel so happy. Gaur Hari Bol. So there is fine difference in many places in our life, good and bad going on side by side, parallel. If you are a little bit uncareful and unmindful, you can make a grave mistake. It's like walking on the roads of mountain, narrow roads of mountain, driving on the narrow roads of mountain. If you're a little uncareful, either you will smash on the wall of mountain or you will fall down from the mountain. You have to be all the time careful. Our path of sadhana is like that. You have to be very careful. As long as you are remaining in a balanced way, proper path, everything going on just with proper care and attention, enlightened with Krishna consciousness, everything is just fine. Then you can enjoy seeing the mountain and you can wander all around the mountain, no problem. But that fundamental caring is required. Anyone going to see the mountain must be very careful. Basic qualification must be fulfilled. Then everything is nice. But as soon as somebody is careless, lot of suffering. Like when you are playing very nice music. All the musicians know how to play music in chorus way. If one makes one little mistake, it becomes so, what happened? That sounds so disgusting because it's out of tune. Little mistake, out of tune. Again comes back in harmony, everything is so nice. In your dancing also you understand. You cannot lose the rhythm. When you are in the dancing, flowing in harmony, if you miss some rhythms then it's sometimes very difficult to catch back. But still you have to, very quickly, intelligent dancers can quickly catch back. So, our program is to avoid making mistakes and doing everything the right way, as much as possible. Sometimes we cannot all the time do everything right with our own ability. That's why prayer for the grace, prayer for the divine grace, mercy of Lord, pure devotees should always be there. Keep us protected. So back to the point. I did not finish the list of how you can do each and everything in Krishna consciousness. I only stopped by the walking example. Then you come back, then you sit before the computer, replying to some email or relating to some friends. Then you ask yourself, are you doing all this in Krishna consciousness or just you have got a separate motive or interest? If you have, don't do it. Even when you are relating to your friend, talking to on phone, your final aim should be to utilize that friendship, even those talkings, in the service of Lord. Then it becomes Krishna conscious. Otherwise, just becomes mundane way. You are talking for hours. Suppose every day you are talking to your friends in hours and chatting through Skype or WhatsApp and all these, but at the end, result produce zero. He or she is not becoming devotee, or you are not, both of your chatting or phone talks not producing any result in Krishna conscious way, then that's simply wastage of time. From the stand of the devotees, pure devotional stand, just wastage of time, it's mundane way. So we can do everything in a mundane way without Krishna consciousness, so that also becomes like that. But suppose sometimes I have to do, some devotees have some personal family problems, now calling me on phone, and I am mediating between them to solve their personal problems, to bring back the harmonious understanding in the devotees' family. Because all of them have some certain respect and some deep faith in my words, so whatever I will say they will accept. They are not ready to accept each other's words, listen to each other, but when I am mediating, whatever I will say, all of husband, wife, children, all will accept that. So I am playing that role, and at some point solving their own personal family problems. Then ultimately with what motive? Why I am doing that? I know for sure why I am doing it. Although it looks like just mundane family problem, now I have to get involved with the mundane problems and all these hear from all directions and then find out some ways of solution, but I know why I am doing it. I know ultimately, if all these family problems are solved, all these they are devotee family on the whole, then all those devotees will be peaceful and happy. Happiness and peace will come back in their family life. They will be nicely settled again. Again they will continue their Krishna conscious life. They will happily continue with Krishna conscious life or with all problems solved, at least for now. So, that is my real motive, that I am spending some time, energy behind them to solve their personal family problem, so that they become peaceful and happy and again engage in Krishna consciousness happily. My real interest. Then whole my activity is qualified ultimately by my service attitude, service motive. Okay, although it apparently looks like, oh, Maharaj is getting entangled in some mundane family problems and spending so much hours on so much long time on phone and doing this. But I know means is justified by the end. So like that. So even some apparently negative activities can also be, utilized in a positive way. In this world, nothing is really straight way, nothing is good or bad. It all depends on positive use and misuse. We cannot straight away define everything good and bad. All depends upon good use and bad use, positive and negative use. That's how things are defined as good or bad. So, like that. So, when you are talking on phone, with the friends or chatting, try to do it in a way, at least some result, some fruit of that energy, time energy of spending after that, come in Krishna's service, then they are okay. At least some. Otherwise just useless mundane talks. You are spending so much time energy for what? For nothing almost. But if you do it for cultivating that good soul to come to Krishna, and you are doing so many things like mixing with those New Age people like you are one of them, slowly building a friendship, cultivating a good relationship, approaching to them, understandable to them, like one of them, and slowly they are growing some loving appreciation for you, and then slowly because of their love for you, they are accepting what you are doing in life. They are also starting loving your life of Krishna consciousness. Oh, I really love him, I really love her. Such a nice person, and he is into this, she is into this, must be something very lovely. So, slowly accepting Krishna consciousness through their love for you. So then, ultimately, whatever you are doing in the beginning to approach to them in so-called social mundane way, not in a strict traditional Krishna conscious way, also becoming qualified in Krishna's service, because ultimately helping them to come close to Krishna. Then, but it has to be done with that consciousness. See, apparently negative ways, like just simple mundane ways, can also be utilized in the service of Krishna if properly understood and properly situated in the motive of what we are doing, I am doing. Then what to speak more of? I don't need to give further explanation about how you can eat in Krishna consciousness. Whatever you buy, offer foods to Krishna and then you eat as prasadam. Then even when you are wearing some clothes, buying some dress materials from market, offer to Lord first. Sprinkle some Ganga water, offer before Lord. Asking blessing, oh Lord bless, because I don't accept anything in my life without it being prasad from you. Talk to Lord. So even these are pants, shirts, materials, apparently European dress, Krishna you may wear, sometime may not wear. But anyway, I, as a devotee of you, I cannot accept anything without your connection. So here is the dress material, here is my pants, shirt and everything. You look at it.
What is a prayer?
You look at it and bless it so that I wear your remnant dress. Okay, that way. When you, what else? Then, when you prepare...
Even when you look movie, Maharaj, I learned so many things from
Here's another example. You know, that's what also happens in my life. Sometimes I read, in my college life, I read some novels, because I was basically, I was the student of arts, so naturally I had to, it was in my syllabus, reading some novels, philosophies, philosophy, history, Sanskrit, psychologies, English, Bengali, these are all my subjects. Okay, so also science was one of my favorites. So I did not actually differentiate between the subjects of science, commerce, arts. I know knowledge is one. For our facility we divide into science, commerce, arts. So basically knowledge is one. So although I was a student of arts stream, but I used to study all, from all field like commerce, science, everything. So regardless, beyond my syllabus. So anyway, back to the point. Sometimes, so I studied just regular books in my college or university life. And sometimes I also watched television. I read newspapers. But with the mood that I want to get to know more about this, my surroundings, what is happening around myself, around the globe, the human society, and I picked up certain realistic examples from all those, and later on they became very useful in my life. Later on I utilized all of them in my preaching field to relate to the New Age people. Because I knew how to talk in their language, because I have studied their language, their education. So now I know how to relate with them, how to utilize what I collected from the novels, examples, or from the beautiful poetries like Wordsworth, Gray, Lizzie, Alexander Selkirk, Byron, also so many poetries, Somerset Maugham. So I knew they are beautiful, atheistic poems. So from the science, whether from science or field of commerce or from arts, from novel or from watching some documentary movie or Discovery Channel or National Geography or from reading some newspaper, I used to collect very relevant informations from all of them to utilize in the service, ultimately to utilize in the service of Lord in the preaching fields. And I find the utility. See, I am not being controlled by all those, but I am controlling them, using them. I am not getting used by all those, but using them in the service of Krishna. So that's how you can engage everything, utilize everything in Krishna consciousness. Just you have to discover the arts, how to do it. And pure motive. Heart has to be filled with that pure motive. There has to be pure motive in heart. So whether you are eating, whatever any dress you are wearing, or drinking water, even you are quarreling with somebody, whether you are loving or you are fighting someone, all you can do in Krishna consciousness. Quite possible. You can fight for Krishna, you can love for Krishna, fight for Krishna. Even those who are you fighting with, to bring them to Krishna consciousness, somehow connect them to Krishna consciousness. Not only it becomes beneficial for you because you are fighting for Krishna, but also becomes beneficial to that other party whom you are fighting and rectifying, in this way rectifying his life and chastising so that some benefit can come to his life, so that he becomes corrected, that person, un-Krishna conscious person, material person gets corrected and be connected with Krishna. Actually you are fighting the anti-Krishna elements in that person, in the consciousness of that person, and trying to do away with those elements, destroying, to make some space, create some space in the life of that non-devotee, so that one day can receive connection with Krishna. There will be some more space for Krishna consciousness there. Good things, good Krishna consciousness. His life will be filled with goodness of Krishna consciousness, benediction of Krishna consciousness. So in order to make some space in the life of that person, you are fighting, cleaning, like cleansing task. Fighting the evil things in his life, cleaning the dirts, cheto darpana marjanam happening, so that there is some space and scope created for receiving the benediction of Krishna consciousness. So even so, fighting also can be beneficial. Means is justified by the end. Of course it has to be good means. Cannot be evil means justified by good end. It cannot be like that. It has to be good means justified by the good end. When doctors are holding knives in hand, good sign to save patient's life. Although looking like, holding knives in hand, sharp knives, very dangerous. But when it's in the hands of expert doctor, apparently looking negative, but actually it's a positive thing. Going to do a surgery and save a patient's life. I can give many more examples of how you can do everything in Krishna consciousness. Yes, any query?
Maharaj, you jump from walking to computer, and you spoke about japa.
Oh, japa walking.
Japa.
Because...
No, japa walk, japa.
What about japa? He said. Oh, you can go. Oh, you can.
What about japa?
Japa, yes.
But japa is already Krishna conscious.
Yeah.
Okay, what can I talk more about that? Because her question, the nature of her question was, how can you take care, do some ordinary things, un-Krishna conscious things, in a Krishna conscious way, in connection with Krishna? That's what I was replying to. But japa is already Krishna conscious in the first place.
How much we should chant? How many rounds?
As many as possible. Without any upper limit, as many as possible. But chanting should be quality. We may not all the time focus on quantity. We should focus on quantity also, besides quality, but preference should be given to more focused and devoted quality chanting rather than quantity. But when quality and quantity both come together, it's wonderful, well and good.
And Maharaj, when you speak about quality, what do you mean for quality? Japa, good quality. Japa?
It's another whole world of explanation.
Yes.
How japa becomes qualified.
Yes.
How we can have true quality in japa. In a nutshell, when you are doing japa, you are feeling peaceful. At some point it feels so good within you. And overall, you feel some goodness, some peace and happiness. Okay? Then you know it's a quality chanting. You are doing quality chanting. You are engaged in quality chanting by taste. If it doesn't happen like that, at least if you feel peaceful, just peaceful, okay, neither taste coming nor any unhappiness coming, neither unhappiness nor any happiness, like you are going on chanting in between the feelings, is doing that better than nothing. Just think, even if I utter holy name of Krishna in any way, even if I am uttering without feelings, but anyhow I am uttering, anyhow I am chanting that divine sound, the holy name of Krishna, just feel that. Even that kind of feeling will also bring within you happiness. If you feel that with faith, that I cannot chant Krishna's name with qualification, but I am trying, just giving a try to do it, to chant his holy names. And Shastra says, even if I utter, chant in any way, some sound vibration, even without feelings, still it is beneficial. So I am doing this, so I must receive some benefit from it. Just have this faith. Do it with this faith and belief. Then also, as soon as you have that belief and faith, and as it deepens and deepens, you'll find some taste and happiness. That faith itself will bring forth some taste of chanting of Mahamantram. Because when you have some deep faith, respectful faith and belief in something, it itself brings some kind of contentment, satisfaction within you. So it also relates to chanting of holy name. So when you continue to chant with some faith, respect, if it doesn't come, insist. continue to insist that you want to have faith, you truly believe it, you really believe in this, you really feel it's going to happen in your life. If you chant holy name of Krishna in any way in life, any way, under any circumstance, it will bring some blessings, some auspiciousness, some benediction in your life. Just think of that. At some point it will happen. It's like that. No fire coming. When you take 2 stones, like fire not coming, but when you rub and do heavily, at some point spark of fire coming. Don't give up. Asha bandha hridi. Always continue with a heart filled with divine hope, immortal hope. It will happen. It may take time, but it will happen. Many things start happening. The other day I was explaining, many things in our life already start happening, but we are not aware of it. Not yet. Like when you start getting sick, if I use some negative example, when you start getting sick, you don't immediately feel sickness. When sickness comes and it surfaces up, when you become too sick, the energy of sickness grows and grows and grows too much, body cannot resist anymore, then you come to know, I am sick, I need treatment. But it already started long ago. You are not aware of that. Little growing. Similarly, many good things also happen. As I am giving a negative example, I can also give positive example. It also happens positive way. Many good things, like when you are recovering your health after sickness, slowly recovers. Immediately you don't enjoy full health, but it happens slow by slow, little by little. Then at some point you feel very healthy. You feel, okay, I got back to my health now. But already getting back to health, that process of getting back to health, restoring your health already started long ago, but we don't immediately feel that directly, but still is happening. When you go forward, go ahead to fulfill your ambition, you have to make a start somewhere, endeavor. All those endeavors are like starting point of achieving your ambition. Although you are not achieving your ambition overnight, although you are not reaching your goal overnight, but every step you are taking towards your goal, although goal is so far, but every step from a great distance you are taking forward towards reaching goal is counted as your journey towards the goal. When those steps are continued, at some point you will reach your goal. So, in the beginning you may consider, goal is so far. In the beginning you may think, goal is so distant, so far, I never know when I will achieve. And if you feel so hopeless and helpless, then you lose energy to step forward towards your goal. Rather, you have to see, I am now going ahead to reach my destination, reach my goal. And if I continue this process, walking step by step, continue my steps forward, at some point, I'll reach my goal. Think in a positive way. Instead of, my goal is so far, I never know when I will achieve in this way. That is more pessimistic way. Krishna conscious way of approach is very full of optimism, no pessimism. Okay. Anything. When you are trying to achieve your target cannot be fulfilled in a few days. It takes time, energy. But each and every point of effort you are doing in the beginning, making for that target, taking you close to reach the target. Same thing in life of Krishna consciousness. When we stay in the process of our sadhana, cultivation of the life of Krishna consciousness, none of the points of our practice, none of the points or efforts we make in the service of Krishna actually go in vain. Each and every effort in Krishna consciousness, each and every try, each and every endeavor we have to relate to Krishna is certainly counted upon. Never go in vain. It is already promised by Lord, promised by the truth of Krishna consciousness. So don't feel disappointed or disheartened thinking nothing is happening right now, because we have got a habit, if we don't immediately achieve something, we don't want to go for it. If we don't immediately, we want some immediate achievement, immediate result, in a very easy way, cheap way sometimes. That's why we are attached to. But no, when you are going to achieve something very high, very valuable, it may not be immediately achieved, but still you have to know you are in the process of achieving it at some day, some point. No sincere effort in the service of Krishna can go in vain. All are counted. Maybe 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents. And that becomes 1 euro. Then our again 1 cent, 2 cents, 2 euro. But still it's growing. Then at some point it can grow like 1 euro, 2 euro. Then it can be multiplied 10, 20, 30. Can be multiplied 100, 100, 200 as we develop.
Your spiritual master, was he as positive as you are?
Was my spiritual master as positive as I am?
Yes.
Oh, he was more positive than me. I'm also inheriting. I'm also receiving this way from the grace of my spiritual master, from the stream of his grace. He was one of the topmost optimistic spiritualist, optimistic devotees. These are some terms from my Guru Maharaj. Immortal hope. A hope never dies. Sometimes Guru Maharaj used to speak in a very philosophical way, highly philosophical, sophisticated way. Beautiful words. Immortal hope. Hope beyond mortality. Hope never dies. Means hope of Krishna consciousness. He wanted to describe the nature of the hope in Krishna consciousness. How it is? Immortal hope. Because the nature of achievement also immortal, as the nature of our achievement in Krishna consciousness immortal, and hope for that also immortal. Only immortal hope can be qualified to have immortal achievement of the treasure of Krishna consciousness. Gaur Hari, Radhe Krishna. Let us engage in bhajan. Let us chant some beautiful bhajan. Yasomati Nandana, Brajavaro Nagaro, Gokula Ranjana Kana. Yasomati Nandana, Brajavaro Nagaro, Gokula Ranjana Kana. Gopi Paranno Dhanu Madana Manohara, Gopi jana palana asura kulana nanda go dhanara Govinda Madhava Naganita Taskaro Govinda Madhava Naganita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala Sundara Nanda Gopala Sundara Nanda Gopala Nitai Gauranga Jayo, Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga Jayo, Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga,
Gadai Gauranga Jayo, Gadai Gauranga, Gadai Gauranga. Gadai Gauranga Jaya, Gadai Gauranga, Gadai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga Jaya, Nitai Gauranga,
Nitai Gauranga,
Gadai Gauranga Jaya, Gadai Gauranga, Gadai Gauranga, Gadai Gauranga, Gadai Gauranga Jaya, Gadai Gauranga,
Gadai Gauranga, Gadai Gauranga,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,